My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and I thank you for being here with me today. Before we get into our reading, I have two announcements. One announcement and then a brief thing. My buddy Charlotte from Happy Twins 1111, she's going to be demonstrating how we do spirit release therapy or spiritual clearings. You can get more information on my community page, but she's going to be doing that. And I think it's 6 p.m. Eastern time or 7 p.m. Eastern time today. So you can log in, and she'll be doing free clearings once you don't have severe negative attachments. She will clear you, and she's also going to be doing free twin flame checks or twin flame tunings to see if you're a twin and to look at your connecting chakra lights and all of that. Okay. So whether you're a twin or not, you're going to go because you might get a free clearing, and then you just see how we operate, All right, the other thing is I decided to bring you an Akashic Records reading today because from looking at the comments yesterday, I think people have been misguided as to what the karmic relationship is supposed to be about and what it represents. And that's no fault of anybody's. It's YouTube has kind of given this particular relationship a kind of negative color when it's an integral part of your person's soul growth, and it's an integral part of how the universe balances the scales of justice, right? Now, this word karmic, it comes exactly from karma, and karma is the cause and effect of your deeds. Now, it could be your deeds and your actions. Now, it could be your deeds and your actions from this life in the past, something you've done in the past, or it could be the consequences of your deeds and actions in a previous life. So what happens is that this particular relationship, people come together because they agree to come together to either repay a particular karmic debt or process ancestral karma. So maybe sometimes they're not processing that karma on behalf of themselves. Sometimes they're processing that karma on behalf of their ancestral line. The sins of the fathers come down through generations, right? So somebody volunteers to do that. In fact, that is what my DM is doing. He's processing ancestral karma plus his own karma in his particular karmic relationship. And, so it teaches the soul a particular lesson, and then it also balances the scale. So the soul learns, and then the soul also frees itself from that particular debt that's been weighing or they've been carrying around, maybe through lifetimes. So it's a really important relationship. It's just that YouTube or maybe the Twin Flame community or, the Soul Connection community has, given it this particular color because it's kind of frustrating because you want to be with your person. But this is something that they have to do for them to grow. So in that way, we ourselves, we have been karmics for other people. Through us, people have been taught lessons. Through us, the universe has balanced the scales. So, the karmic person, they are a person just like you. They came from the divine. Well, most of them. No, they are karmics who are not human. But I'm not going to get into that today, right? That's something for SRT, for spirit release, because during spirit release clearance, we have met karmics who were not human, okay? So there is that. But that's a minority, minute. But everybody else, they came from the same source as you. So there's nothing about them makes you more superior, except that you have committed to your healing. Or if you're a DF, you have a particular special mission in this particular life. But otherwise, they come from the same source. And it might have been your family in a previous life. My karmic now, I used to be her brother in a previous life, right? So why would I hate on her, right? It's the same soul tribe. We're the same soul family, right? She's just agreed to play this particular role in this life because there is a karmic debt that exists between her and my DM. A massive one, I have to say, from what I saw, a massive one, right? So it's a very important relationship. So that's why I don't condone people demonizing the karmic. In fact, if your person has been the subject or the recipient of spell work in this life, or they've been bound in a particular way, trust me, it's because they either bound someone, may not be spiritually, in this life, you know, maybe their control tactics was such that it was like a binding, or in a previous life, they might have misused their spiritual power. So this is about teaching the soul what it feels like to be in that particular position. So that's why it's so important. If you want to know more about this, there's a book called The Evolution of the Soul Through Relationships. I can't remember his first name, something Green. And he really goes into depth about, you know, how every relationship, whether it's a karmic contract, whether you agree or not, every relationship teaches you something. In fact, I always say, even the man on the street, the vagrant on the street, the vagabond, they teach you about how to be grateful, to have a roof over your head. So it's through the contact, human contact, that we learn our soul lessons, okay? And that's why I don't agree with bashing the karmic. They're playing an important role in your person and your soul evolution, because they are teaching you a lesson indirectly too. They're teaching you how to love yourself, okay? All right, so let's get into this. So in this Akashic Records reading, in what I'm going to show you here, I'm going to explore the foundation of the karmic contract between your person and the karmic. We're going to look at what is the nature of the karmic imbalance between them. And then we're going to look at where they are currently in this particular contract. And then when we go to the extended now, we're going to look at the foundation of the contract between you and your person. Okay, that's soul tie. We're going to look at the current lessons being learned by either of you. We're going to look at your current stage in this contract. And then we're going to look at where you guys will be in the contract a year from now. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm really excited, you know, because this is usually a really interesting reading. What's this? Okay, no, I thought I saw something. Okay. All right, now I'm still learning these cards because they don't flow like the traditional tarot at all. They have different meanings. So you might see me refer to the book. It's just that I want to give you the full meaning of the cards sometimes. So I'm going to read them intuitively. I'm going to get my intuitive hits, but if I get stumped, then that's when I'm going to go to the book. Okay, so the foundation of the karmic contract. What's the foundation? And what's the basis of it? What did they agree to do? I'm trying to shuffle and I'm trying to absorb the cards all at once. Okay. Guys, give me one moment. I need to know the meaning of one card. Because I'm getting the story here already. Just bear with me. Oh my goodness. Spirit is playing a trick on us right now. Wow. Okay. So what I'm getting from this card, wait, let me get one more thing, because it's so weird that I am drawing a particular blank today about a particular thing. Guys, you know I'm not usually like this, but the words are right out of my head right now. And it's because of that first card. That first card says up in the air, and it says you're not to know. And I'm literally getting a blank from spirit right now. Literally getting a blank. It's like we're not supposed to know. But I already got the message. It's just that I can't remember the meaning of that particular card. It is just so weird. Something is wrong with me. Okay, anyway, I got the message anyway. If I remember, I'll come back. It's just so weird. All right, so anyway, so the first card we have is up in the air. So what the lesson that they are learning right now, or the lesson that not right now, the lesson that they're meant to learn through this whole experience, they're meant to trust spirit. Okay, and that's why we have up in the air, right? They're meant to go to paths unknown. They're meant to not know where they're heading, because the main lesson that they're supposed to learn is how to trust people and how to trust spirit, because we have up in the air. Up in the air means you don't know what the hell is going to happen from day to day. So their relationship is supposed to be tumultuous. Their relationship is supposed to be obsessive, addictive, and that is because they are supposed to learn to rely completely on spirit. They're supposed to learn to let go. You see how the balloon is going up in the air? They're supposed to learn to let go of people and also let go of the past. So that could be whatever happened in the past karmically between them. Let go of their control issues and allow spirit to guide them. Allow spirit to dictate their path. Allow spirit to free them from the Eight of Swords, to take a leap of faith, leap out of their programming, because the Eight of Swords is all about programming. So they're supposed to choose a different path from their programming. Okay, so both of them are meant to take on their family's template. Okay, dysfunctional template, whether it is a dysfunctional template with regard to codependency, a dysfunctional template with regard to what love really means. Maybe people stay together in a marriage out of duty, and then have someone out on the outside kind of thing, or maybe it's being dysfunctionally tied to religious doctrine. Whatever it is, they're meant to free themselves from that programming. So they're meant to take on that template, and then they're meant to free themselves from the programming and chart a new course for their future. And I'm also getting for future generations. Then they are supposed to part from each other. We have commitment in reverse. So they are supposed to break up. Okay? They are supposed to break up. This is also the Ace of Wands reverse. So through this relationship, they are also going to free themselves from codependency, because Ace of Wands and Ace of Cups in reverse talks about someone being codependent, being insecure. They're supposed to address this in this particular life. So this is the lesson that they're teaching each other: how to trust, as in how to trust people, how to trust spirit, how to release themselves from codependency, how to release themselves from their programming, and then how to rise into their power to be the king or the queen of forces. Now, the king or queen of forces is the king or queen of wands, right? So they are supposed to then, at the end of this relationship, rise into their divinity, harnessing their spiritual gifts, both your person and the karmic also. So they're both doing this for each other. They're both teaching them how to love themselves, how to escape from family programming, how to trust spirit, and then they're learning about their spiritual self and how to free themselves from any of these trappings that might prevent them from serving spirit. They're also learning how to be independent, being able to manifest on their own, not being reliant on someone else. So at the end of this contract, both parties are supposed to be very spiritually powerful, because they would have shrugged off all their baggage from this life and maybe a previous life, and rise into their total power and stand in their power. All right, let us see the nature of the karmic imbalance between them. So we're going to go into the past life deck. What is the nature of the karmic imbalance between them? Let me see what the hell happened here. What the hell happened here? All right. So from this contract, they're going to learn to let go of their control issues. They're going to adopt a new programming for their family and for their life. They're going to learn to be independent and not codependent. And they're going to rise into their spiritual gifts. Let's see what's the nature of the karmic imbalance between them. What happened? Okay. Now, this could be what happened in the past or what happened in the past life. Depends on what you believe. Okay. Yeah, I told you they're learning lessons with each other. And those lessons are going to be blessings. Okay. All right. So what am I getting here? Both people here have a issue with their father. Okay. There was some kind of breach of trust here. Or they both have issues with masculine energy. Right. And that's why they're not able to stand in their power. Okay. Because when we have issues with father energy, it prevents us from being assertive. It prevents us from standing in our power. Because masculine energy is all about power. It's about dominance. It's about drive. So when you have issues with the father figure or a breach of trust with the father figure, it creates a blockage there. So maybe for the feminine energy in this karmic relationship, there's some kind of blockage with the father. And that has caused issues with maybe all men. So maybe what the female, the feminine energy is learning is how to trust, which is what we were talking about. How to trust masculine energy. I'm getting that it may not just be with the father. It could be that they have issues with their parents. So I'm getting that the feminine energy may have issues with the father, and the masculine energy may have issues with the mother. So they're both learning how to remove that blockage through this relationship. Because when you have issues with the mother figure, right? When you have issues with the mother figure, it blocks off your receptivity to spirit, and it blocks off your receptivity to abundance. So both of them are learning to trust people. They're learning to discharge that issue that happened in their foundation or in their childhood, and they're learning to trust again. Okay? And that's important for their relationship with you. Because if your masculine does not trust feminine energy, and apparently he doesn't, this card just fell. If your masculine does not trust feminine energy, he's not going to trust you. He's not going to trust you. What they're also learning they're processing their abandonment issues. So maybe their abandonment issues are directly related to their parents. But what those abandonment issues did was created people who were incredibly codependent. So again, we're seeing it here. They're learning to be independent. They're learning to be confident. They're learning to be okay with being alone and not just going into relationships, even dysfunctional ones, or holding on to dysfunctional ones just because they don't want to be alone. And of course, we see that they are teaching each other these lessons as we speak. They're getting these lessons as we speak. And as they learn these lessons, they're ushering blessings into their life. Blessings of true love that will come when they leave this relationship. And also, they're also getting the blessings of their spiritual gifts as they learn their lessons. So this is where they are right now. They're dealing with their abandonment issues. They're dealing with their childhood issues. And they are receiving the lessons. They are learning their lessons. They are. Both the karmic and your person, they're learning their lessons. And they're receiving the blessings that are coming to them with that. And the way that they've been learning these lessons, they've been triggering each other. You see this yellow here? They've been triggering each other, and they've also been communing with spirit. And that's really been helping them learn these lessons that they're supposed to learn here. And it's also helping both of them rise into their spiritual power, because that's what they're supposed to do in this life. So they are doing exactly what they are supposed to do. So it seems like they are on track with their karmic contract. They're discharging all those childhood wounds. They're dealing with their codependency issues. This is what is happening right now. This card tells us that, because the next segment would have been where are they currently, but this card tells us where they are currently. They're learning their lessons, and they're receiving the blessings from learning those lessons. The blessings of being independent. The blessings of being empowered. The blessings of their spiritual gifts arising. The blessing of having that connection to spirit. They are getting that all now. Let me see where they are currently with this contract. So as soon as they finish learning these lessons here, they're supposed to break up. Okay, they're supposed to break up. That is the plan. Okay, we have Archangel Gabriel. I have to see what that's about. We have the Seven of Forces. All right, so we know from that card that that karmic debt has not been discharged yet. They're still learning. You know what Spirit just told me? On this side is the feminine energy. This is what she's learning. And this side is the masculine energy. So she, the feminine, is dealing with daddy issues and her codependencies and fear of abandonment. And he is learning a lesson, especially about his spiritual gifts and his power with the divine. Where are they right now? So this is going to be on his side, the masculine energy. He's learning his lesson. Okay. Still more to go. I have to look in this book for one card. That Archangel Gabriel card, what does that mean? I'm getting a An intuitive hit. Let me see. Reversed. Okay. Alrighty, I got it. Alright. So in terms of the feminine energy here, she's still in distorted feminine energy, meaning that she is still unable to express herself appropriately, really speak to her needs, and really have emotional integrity, as in stand up for what she believes in. She's still resorting to manipulation tactics and all of that because she still hasn't learned how to communicate appropriately, and she still hasn't learned how to deal with her issues. Okay? And that's why she's still unbalanced. We have balance card in reverse. She's still unbalanced. She's still being deceptive, whoever the feminine energy is. Could be a man or a woman. The feminine energy, she's still using deception. This is a 7. No, this is 7 of 4. Right, okay. Yeah, right? So she's still emotionally and mentally unbalanced, right? She has not learned her lesson yet. But your person, the masculine energy, is well on their way. He's removing all blockages that may be in the way of his union. He's removing all blockages that may be in the way of his spiritual path, because this is spiritual path. Previously it was blocked, you see? But now he's removing all obstacles, right? But he still has a lesson to learn, and that lesson is about being emotionally available. He's still being too over analytical. He's still making head over heart decisions instead of employing both of them, which is a lesson that he needs to learn in this life. He needs to move into his heart space. He hasn't done that yet. So he still has more to go, but he's well on his way because he is learning his lesson. He is learning his lessons, and he is cultivating this relationship here with spirit. And that is why the blocksticle. Why am I saying blocks? Blocksticles. Any obstacles or blockages are being removed from his spiritual path. Okay? And because purple, that's all about his intuition. Right? So all obstacles are being moved from his spiritual path. Alright, so join me in the extended, guys. And then we're going to look at the foundation of the contract, or the soul contract between both of you. We're going to look at the current lessons being learned by both of you. We're going to look at the current stage you guys are in your contract. And then we're going to look at where you guys are going to be a year from now. You know what? Perhaps I should do that. Where are these folks going to be a year from now? One card for the feminine and one card for the masculine. Okay, so you are feminine and you are masculine. All right, so what we get from here. All right, so this card is the 6 of Cups, okay? Or the 6 of Roses. So upright, it talks about a war. There's some kind of standoff going on. I told you, these cards don't read like the usual deck, right? So there's a war going on, kind of stalemate energy going on. But when this is in the reverse, it means then all is lost. All is lost. There's been some kind of war. People have surrendered. Everything is totally demolished. So it looks like whatever's happening here between them, it is going to be completely over by next year this time. Okay? And then we have here the Lookout. I need to see what that means in reverse, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry for all these disruptions, but I'm still learning this deck. Right? And I want you guys to get the message. What's the Lookout in reverse? But I'm getting intuitively there's no hope or recovery for this relationship, because 17 is a star card, and that's a card about hope and healing. So there'll be no, there's none of that. Everything will be gone. They said in the reverse position, the Lookout, which is your person, may seem to have fallen and lost his position, but he's now free from the heat of the battle. You may find yourself in the throes of a sudden and difficult loss, perhaps a job, a relationship, or major creative opportunity. All right, so by the time a year has passed, this time next year, this will be no more. That'll be it. It's done. They'll have learned their lessons. Everybody on their path to something new. It's been burned to the ground, destroyed, over. Okay, we have 2 confirmations. Okay, so if this resonated with you and you think that this is the lessons that your person is learning, it's going to be over within a year's time. All right, totally over, burned to the ground, punto final. That's it. No more coming back. Okay. All right, guys. So this was part 1, and you could join me in Patreon or Vimeo for part 2, where we look at your particular situation with your person. Okay. All right, guys. Take care. Bye.